Guys, and today we'll be talking about the Donovan Mitchell situation because the Miami Heat and New York Knicks are closely watching that situation. So look, the 2023 NBA All-Star Game will be in Salt Lake City, and I just want to talk about all of this. So let's get right into today's video and let's talk about it. Where do you think Donovan Mitchell is going to go? Is he going to stay in Utah? Who's going to trade for him? So first off, Julius Randle was sitting courtside during Utah's Game 1 road win over the Dallas Mavericks in the first round of the playoffs. If you guys did not know, Julius Randle is a Dallas native. And Knicks president, Leon Rose, was hired away from CAA, the agency that represents Donovan Mitchell, to pilot the New York Knicks franchise. The New York Knicks front office has so far been unable to deliver the all-star talent that the organization expected many former agents turned executives have done, such as Bob Myers, Rob Pelinka, to do. The Miami Heat have been mentioned, as well as the New York Knicks, as two teams that are closely monitoring Mitchell's situation in Utah, according to Jake Fischer, Bleacher report. However, Mitchell still has 3 years on his huge contract before he could decline a $37.1 million player option in 2025 to 2026. And the Jazz have made countless of efforts to make him happy, in Salt Lake City. They traded for his childhood friend, Eric Pascal. They terminated Vice President of Performance Healthcare, Mike Elliott, after Mitchell was frustrated when the Utah medical staff urged him to stay sidelined in the Game 1 of the 2021 first-round matchup against the Grizzlies, which resulted in a loss. And Utah's commitment to Mitchell has naturally led rival executives to paint Gobert as a more likely trade candidate should the Jazz explore to break up the duo of Gobert and Mitchell. Now, Dallas, Atlanta, and Toronto have been mentioned as Gobert destination among most of the league's front office personnel. But the Jazz have to clearly realize that if Donovan does want to go out, their roster needs defensive improvements. And even if they do keep Donovan Mitchell, the roster needs defensive improvements. And obviously moving on from Gobert will directly be seen as counterintuitive to fixing those shortcomings. However, league personnel have said that they are looking to explore moving complementary pieces as Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and potentially Mike Conley. Personally, I think Bojan and Mike Conley should leave before Royce O'Neal. I think Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, and Bojan Bogdanovic should leave before that. Literally, do you see what Jay Crowder is doing for the Phoenix Suns? That's what Royce O'Neal is capable of. If you don't believe me, just watch this tape. Now, it's also interesting because during the end of the season, we don't know if Quinn Snyder's going to be there, okay? And the noise surrounding Quinn Snyder's future in Utah has stemmed from which, he's declined Jazz's effort to give him a contract extension. Meaning that, look, he wants to leave, okay? Because he has an option in 2023 to 2024 that he could choose to pick or decline the option. Basically, it's a coaching player option. And there was a form of disagreement between Utah and Quinn Snyder during the 2021 offseason, prior to Danny Ainge's arrival. There's plenty of time to evaluate their footing and see if this Mitchell or Gobert duo works. But now if you're wondering, who would you trade our man for in Donovan Mitchell? So Rudy Gobert is making $41 million this upcoming season. Donovan Mitchell, he's making nowhere near that. And I think that's where we look at that. And people need to understand, he's making 32.6. Same as like CJ McCollum, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo. And that's where you look at this deal and you're like, okay, if they're trading Donovan Mitchell, it's because they're going to get rid of Donovan and Rudy Gobert, in my opinion. So if they were going to trade Donovan to the Miami Heat, it would definitely be for Bam Adebayo and other players around that. Now you look at Julius Randle, who makes a similar amount of money as, he makes about $29 million, okay? 29.2. That being said, you need to put $3 million on there, and I personally think that deal could also work. They're going to involve a bunch of picks, but I want to hear your thoughts. What would you guys do if you're the Utah Jazz?